My name is Chester Whitmore, and I'm here to talk to you about the history of black dance in America. Yes, I was exposed to that when I was in high school, at Dorsey High School. I was a nerd. I run the school, because nerds run the school at Dorsey High School. I was a filmmaker, running around and doing documentation, and I had a project to do a thing on dance. I was doing a whole history of dance, but the dance forms that I was all European, ballet, modern, contemporary at that time. I'm talking about late 60s into the 70s at that time. Then, the style of dance that I was looking for, like the older style, like we saw MGM, the old great musicals, Bojangles, Robinson, and different stuff like that. And a lot of people said, you're not going to find that type of dance. Because you have to have somebody from that's older, your parents. And I said, that's interesting, but that didn't, stop me from researching. So I kept on researching, and a friend of mine said, go to a place called the Inner City Cultural Center. They had great actors out of there. So I went there, and there was this gentleman. They said he teaches dance, but he happened to left before I got there. So I'm riding my bike on the way back, and then there's this guy on the street, had a flat tire, and nobody was helping him. And I drove by on my bike, and I happened to help him. I said, let me help this guy. Nobody's up here helping him. I changed the tire for him, and we was talking, and he looked around and saw that I had a pair of tap shoes on my bicycle. He said, you a hoofer? And I thought he was calling me a heifer. But no, he said, no, hoofer. And that was one of my first words, learning, what's a hoofer? He said, another name for a dancer. I said, so there's names for all of these times period. So he said, I used to dance. If you want to learn, come to me. I said, I thought he was joking. So, but I took the gentleman's offer up, and I came by his house, and I showed him my little steps that I knew, and it was horrible. It was embarrassing. He said, let me try this, and he flew across the floor. Brrr. He said, you want it. You want this. And he said, and I didn't know this guy. I stayed with him for 2 years and a half. He exposed me to all these great dancers. Now, the names didn't mean nothing to me at this time. I just wanted to learn to dance. But the names were a couple of dancers like, I would say, the Three Top Chocolatiers. It was Clarence Landry of the Hi-Hatters. Warren Berry of the Berry Brothers. Now, note, I don't even know who these people were, but I just knew them and we were good friends. While I was up late at night one night, and this was an all-black musical on. You got to note, at that time, there was no black musicals on TV. You never seen it in those at the time. And I'm looking at this all-black cast. I always saw musicals with Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, and everybody else, but nobody of that format. And then these two guys came out, and they were doing these incredible dance routines, go down the stairs, split, bam, boom, bop, bam. I was like, oh my goodness. And I said, I woke up the next morning and told my friends, did you guys see that musical last night? Did you see it on TV? They said, yeah, there ain't no black people on TV. They thought I was crazy. I said, shit. And I was going around for 2 or 3 weeks trying to find out what's the name of this movie. Looking at the TV guide, it's nothing like today. You can just click on and find out a movie. We had TV guides in the days. And I went back to my rehearsal. My teacher said, what's wrong? You seem puzzled. I saw these group of 2 guys doing the splits and the great musical. He said, oh, really? He said, hold on a minute. He pulled out a drawer and pulled out these 8x10s. I looked down and said, oh, that's you. I've been with this man for 2 years and a half. Did not know his name was Fayard Nicholas, of the great legendary Nicholas brothers. And he was one of the first gentlemen. They gave me my first job at the Inner City Cultural Center. They'd exposed, they helped me out, being a choreographer, going around and studying. From then on, my quest was moving. He introduced me to, of course, again, like I said, Clarence Landry of the Hi-Hatters, a group that worked with Duke Ellington. They were a class act. There was Willie Covam, the first black choreographer that was on MGM lot that taught Ann Miller, Fred Astaire, Eleanor Powell, the great dancers out there, Eleanor Powell, the Queen. And, I got a chance to work with him. I got a chance to work with the famous John Bubbles, the father of rhythm dancing. And for working with these people, I was staying with them, became their protege. I took notation of all the dances, which Frances Neely. I got a chance with Catherine Dunham. I have worked with the steps of Jenny Lagang, the great Jenny Lagang, the first black woman that made $1,200 in 1934 a week. She was a runner-up against Eleanor Powell. The list goes on. Oh, the legendary got the one and only Leonard Reed, not the gentleman man. He taught me how to put productions together, shows production. And it's valuable information. It made me learn all the chorus girls, chorus boy movements, to learn all of these steps from these different people. And my mother used to say, what are you going to do with all this knowledge in your brain? I said, oh. So I just started performing. Then I said, I'll create a group. So I had a 5-man group, really 2 ladies and 3 gentlemen. And at that time I was going to college, at City College, taking choreography classes up. I got kicked out of that because I was making too many dances a day up. And from there, we went around town doing black dance, and then Louis Bellson picked us up after that. And we opened up Louis Bellson, and the jazz idiom started to pick me up, and I was opening at the jazz festivals around for different acts. There I was doing solo acts with Miles Davis. I worked with John Hendricks of Lambert Hendricks Rods, Count Basie Orchestra, Lyle Hampton, and all of these came from just doing this style of dance. From there, a gentleman named Irwin Parnes came. International Concerts Exchange saw me. He said, how would you like to go around the world and do this style of dance? But do you have to have a company? We had the first black company of doing vernacular jazz dance. Now you notice we had ballet company, like Joffrey Ballet, we had Alvin Ailey, we had the Shore Ballet Company. That's all classical. I mean, that's classical. We're talking about American form of dance form, black American form of dance. There's never been a full-length company that endured in that art form of American art. So I said, okay, I think I will create the first black vernacular company that's going to tour around the world. By that time, we had a group of people, of 12 people, that did vernacular, starting from Congo Square. Fad dances, so teens from the 1800s, work songs, blues, spirituals, hymns, all the different styles of dances that go here in America, that was born in America. Because a lot of people did not know these styles of dancers were. Those are the type of dances you haven't heard of, but in the history books you probably heard of these things. But now, preserving this art form was one of the main things that we have done. And I was proud to have a group like that. And made me a world status that keeper of the gate, they may say keeper of the gate of the black dance and music as always as well. The company was called the Black Ballet Jazz. From the series of 1979 all the way to 1999, it has endured and it kept on going across the world doing black dance. And we started the trend of the word vernacular, brought it right back out. And during that period of time, from the mid-'80s to the '90s, the other groups around the world started taking an interest of black dance and started going out. So it's important of this to form. We love it, but we don't see enough of it. You love musicals, you love old stuff, you love Fred Astaire, you love Ginger Rogers, you love all of that. And then you love vernacular form of dance. You love black dance. It's always been with us all the time, from the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, bebop, rebop, 60s, soul, Motown, you name it, disco era, 70s, you knock it in, b-boy, break-in, 1980s, house, you name it, whacking from 1990s until we got right now. And quiet as it kept, line dancing is coming right back as it is. And now, and of course, in the year into 2010, we have another great form, the Central Avenue Dances, which is based off of the great historic and Central Avenue of Los Angeles. Every city in the United States has a great foundation of jazz, music, and dance. And it needs to be told and it needs to be out. Chicago, Bronzeville, New York City, Harlem, Los Angeles, Central Avenue. That's why this company is based on the history of Central Africa and the dances involved in, which evolved around the world. Again, the word vernacular we brought out, meaning the history of black dance. Lindy Hop, Tap, Balboa, Charleston, Fad dances. I mean, I can go on and on and on. But what does it take to preserve this type of form of dances? It takes time, it takes effort, it takes research, it takes a lot. And it takes people who's dedicated, who wants to learn this style of dance, master it and expose it, and get it back out to the public. That's where you come in. We need your help. In order to keep black dance in America and found out and teach it to a younger generation, next generation, and to as an entertainment factor to spread it around the world, he said we need funding. We need lots of funding to create this. We start off with a major show, History of Black Dance in America, which is the Round Foundation. That is one of many shows that come. That show itself, by itself, was started off with just a kickstarter across the United States to make this thing bigger than it is, and make us an education fund too for the schools. So that's what we need. We need money, funding. What do you mean, funding? What kind of funding? It needs to be researched. It needs to be captured. The only way it can be captured is to be funding. There's certain special people that goes out here, and we need to research this stuff. The music, the art form, the dance as well. And it takes a lot of time. Yes, that will cause for a tour that calls across the United States, European, and help out with the major costs of local videos, of series videos that are going to be spread out to the education of our schools districts. So, the ball's in your court now.